All right, hey everybody. Welcome back to Round True. Round two is a Freudian slip. So we just did the rock genre 1971. We're focusing on the music. We're doing a retrospective on the music of 1971. I've been doing a couple previous years, so if you want, you can, after this, go back to, I did 1969, 1970. Those were a little bit less expansive than this one. This one is probably like double the size of that, just because I decided I really want to go into deep some of the different genres and do it a little bit more orchestrated than I did before. So I may continue on like this, but for this one, I'm going to divide it into 7 parts, 7 genres of music, which are rock, blues, folk, prog rock, funk, fusion, funk, R&B, fusion, and world music. So I did rock part 1, and I'm going to go into the blues genre, 1971. And this was the one, as I said in the end of that one, where blues took a little bit of a back step, not necessarily in the quality, but just in the quantity. And it wasn't, it kind of already gone through a resurgence in the 60s during the folk revival and all that. So during the early 70s, it kind of... but I'm going to include a couple that aren't straight. It's not all, just Muddy Waters or B.B. King. There's other stuff it kind of flourished in a little bit of the singer-songwriter field into the blues genre. So anyway, we're going to jump into the blues and hope you enjoy it. We're going to continue on. I'm going to give you like some of the honorable mentions, some of the singles in 1971, and some of the cultural events of the year. Last time I did I'm going a couple months into 1971. Each new genre, I'm going to add a couple more months of notable things that culturally that happened during 1971 to kind of give you an idea of, or remind you of some of the things that was going on in society and around the world and just in America. So, long story short, we're just going to jump into, what should I do first? Okay. As I said, some of these are going to be songs that I've heard, and some of these I'm going to include songs that I haven't heard, and just been recommended or just found them to be something that I feel is going to really fit in with some of the other ones. So, anyway, let's start off with, and it's really interesting too, because a lot of these are debut albums, so it's really cool to see how many debut albums came out in 1971. It's pretty crazy. And I think there's 1, 2 on this one. I think these are all debut albums, and it's not on purpose I did that. Like, there were some artists that I was like, oh, I'll include this one, but these are just 3 I thought I wanted to do. And this is a debut, 1971, released in November, and this is by Bonnie Raitt. So I'll just give you the artists. You had Bonnie Raitt on piano and vocals, Willie Murphy on guitar, Freebo on electric bass, Stephen Bradley on drums, Maurice Jaycox on flute, and Voyle Harris on trumpet. And the last 4, bass, drums, flute, and trumpet, were part of a group called the Bumblebees. And I believe they were up, I'll give the location afterwards. But anyway, this is Bonnie Raitt. And this is a song called Thank You. Here we go.
Sitting here thinking, baby, about you. I'm wondering how I ever got through my life without you. Days passed me by, left my life
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. Seems like a good place. So yeah, these on this blues, I have not heard these first two, so I have not heard the Bonnie Raitt. This was her debut album. It was written by Bonnie Raitt. This song called "Thank You." I haven't heard this before, and I'm doing that. Yeah, I want to do some that I haven't heard, so I want to have a legitimate like first feeling of some of these tunes that came out, as if I was just 1971. It just fell in my lap, found it on someone's couch, and said, "Oh, let me throw this on the record player." And I want to try to, give that feeling. So anyway, yeah, right off the bat, obviously there's gonna be some like overlap with genres. Like, is this straight blues? Like, obviously, yeah, this isn't Muddy Waters. This is, but I mean, Bonnie Raitt is considered, and obviously there's rhythm and blues, R&B. Where does that differentiate from blues? So regardless of how anybody feels about this particular track and where it sits in the blues field, and there were other songs on this album that probably had more straight up blues, but I really wanted to do one that I felt was just in that pocket of something interesting, something that she did, written by her. So regardless, yeah, love it. It's definitely got like a, fits in with it sort of, who is it? Carole King, Carly Simon, some of the singer-songwriter stuff. So this kind of lends itself a little bit more in that direction. But yeah, I love the instrumentation. It's very just down home. You can tell like there's not too much, like the production is not like over the top. It's not like the David Crosby and the I mean, I did him before, that's why I'm just bringing him up, but it's not the overproduced. You could tell like it's just they wanted to do it in a very natural setting, and everything's just there. They're in a room together. And anyway, let's kick back a little bit. Very short song, 2 minutes and less than 3 minutes, so go back a few. All right, here we go.
Sometimes when you're sleeping, I wonder if it's true. I'm afraid they'll come and take away this precious dream in you. Then you wake and hold me and love me through the night. Then I know that somehow everything will be alright. Thank you, baby, for giving me my life. I love you, honey, you've given me my life. Thank you, baby, for giving me my life.
I love that, especially when the flutes come in. That sets it apart a little bit. That's not every day that you get to hear this sort of cool little harmony parts and woodwinds in popular music. So anytime I hear that, it's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, the thing I love about this is it's not like this polished. It's not super polished. It's kind of like you're sitting there just in the room with them, and there's you can hear the choices made, and it's definitely not like, yeah, play this 100, play it one more time, play it one more time, play it again, play it again, play it again, get it perfect. No, there's definitely parts where they could have left out. Definitely parts where, the guitar came in just for like a little bit, and they could have I would have just chopped that off, said, yeah, we're just going to leave that off just because it's taking away from the flute, what was going on at the time, whatever. But yeah, it feels like you're hearing every little, the drums, the keyboard, guitar, the flute, She's pristine. She's perfect. She's definitely the highlight of this. Like her voice is so beautiful, and she's hitting all the notes, and it feels very like, yeah, just like you're catching her right at the time of her. It's her first recording, and she's just being as natural as possible, and just trying to get through it and give her, not trying to be something else. So yeah, I love it. And yeah, with the other music, the other instruments, yeah, nothing really stood out. I mean, it was fine. It was a great cool little backing band. I'm sure like I said, they were sort of local musicians in the area that were playing in the band, and they had somewhat they had a naturalness about them and had played with each other before, but weren't like going. They weren't going to go on to like get stardom or anything like that. They're just a local band that know how to do their general style of music, and it's good enough for people like that. Good enough for them. So let's jump into just a little bit of background on that. So yeah, so it was first album. She recorded it in August 1971 at an empty summer camp on Enchanted Island on Lake Minnetonka. She chose the location because her friendship with John Kerner and Dave Ray, two Minneapolis musicians who encouraged her to record there. Bonnie recorded live on 4 tracks to create a more natural and spontaneous feel. In between Ping Pong and Fishing, recorded live on 4 tracks. So, besides Willie and the Bumblebees, Junior Wells and A.C. Reed drove up from Chicago to lend their versatility to the recording. A.C. Reed, a better singer than his brother, and plays with Buddy Guy and Junior as many nameless tracks on Chicago sessions. So A.C. Reed apparently is someone unspoken session player that really sang really well, better than Jimmy Reed apparently, according to this writer. But yeah, it sounds like they recorded this on a summer camp, back in a room, and set up a bunch of mics and brought in all the drums and said, let's just played ping pong and fished. And just this is going to be enjoyable experience, and we'll see what comes out of it. Yeah, cool. Apparently, it was her only album to not appear on the Billboard charts, and it was a commercial failure. Which that's all it means. Take it for what it is. Whatever commercial is necessary to be a failure or success. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. I look forward to love answering the comments and talking with people on the space. And there's the community tab. Definitely, recommend an album. I'm going to do an album listen soon. And there's a list of albums that you can vote on. But if you got another album, if it's something that I want to throw on the list, I'll throw it on the list. And you can vote for that. As easy as that. So I appreciate it. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you on the next round. Take care. Bye-bye.